Back here with Mike Reiss and Christian Fauria, and let's talk about the other issues this football team has. And I want to start with penalties.
Yeah.
Okay, because they had 9 penalties, 50 yards. They started the game with a penalty.
Yeah. Some of the penalties I always look at, and Christian, you're probably better to talk about it because you played the game. I look at the ones that are judgment calls versus the ones that are completely unforced errors, such as starting the game on a kickoff coverage and leaving early. Or
And I will say that special teams has been their biggest. Has been their best.
Yeah, so it's the most consistent.
A false start by an offensive lineman, a lining up offside by a defensive captain, Dietrich Wise Jr. Like, those are the ones, to me, Steve, where when Jerod Mayo talks about cleaning up the penalties, like, that's not just on the players. That's like, something's not getting through, in my view.
And the other thing that I think is subconsciously what these teams deal with is you have a guy that is penalty prone, and the entire team gets infected by it, and then it becomes, oh no, here we go again, right? Coach talked about this the entire week. Hey, we got to play a clean game. Everyone's got to be really aware of what's going on so we don't hurt ourselves. And the first kickoff, we get a penalty. They go to Jerod Mayo, and he's just sitting there like, oh, no, my God, just steam coming out of his ears because we just talked about this, and then here you go. The other aspect is the timing of the penalties really have seemed to kind of hurt them, especially in the red zone, getting extra opportunities for the other team to get points.
The pass interference calls, I mean, just gave them another life.
Yeah.
Right?
And some of them were ticky-tack. I was like,
Houston another life.
But what are you going to do? They usually never take the penalty away.
Yeah, and I think, and even the calls that weren't made, like the missed face mask on Antonio Gibson that preceded the strip sack, I think they're unfortunate, Steve, but I think it's a loser's lament if, as a team, you look at it and say, that's not why we lost. We got to be better as a team to be able to overcome that type of stuff.
We're a little loose. We're a little loose.
I tell you, that's the theme. We need to get that out. Just a little loose.
I love that. All right, tighten it up. How about tightening up the defense? How about tightening up the defense when it comes to stopping the run?
I thought that was the one area that I really felt like he didn't have to worry as much about. Just the in defense overall, because that's most of the guys are still there. I know they are missing some guys, but for them to be run through like that, I mean, that is a physical, real, like, check your manhood at the door type of thing where I felt like they really kind of got to him. That's got to hurt a little bit more than giving it a long pass, because that's the very identity of our team. We're tough, we're physical, we tackle. Couldn't do it.
That's the one thing you could always count on from a Patriots defense. Fundamentally sound, stop the run. And Devon Godchow in that locker room after the game, Steve, those were some of the strongest comments that I've heard, talking about being embarrassed giving up 41 points, saying that you got to show some pride, and that he didn't see pride from his teammates. So to me, after they went down in the third quarter, so to me, like, I'm keeping an eye on that, because that's a guy that's a run defense guy right there at the heart of it.
In all fairness, though, and I do want to be fair about this, okay? Obviously, the defense has to do their job, but they can't be on the field the entire time. That first quarter,
that's sort of...
it was a 3 and out, right? And first of all, the first 3 plays. Run the ball, pass the ball. Okay?
Uninspired. Uninspired.
Yeah.
Unimaginative.
And then the defense was on the field
cautious
pretty much the entire first quarter.
So
do they run out of steam as the game goes along?
You know, when another player, when a captain, I'll call him a captain, he has that type of, gravitas to him, Godchow. When a guy like that talks about pride and is calling out other people about checking their pride, woo.
That's hot.
That's because I heard we were talking post game about Jacksonville Jaguars, their leaders saying that about their team. Now you have 2 1-5 teams coming to play against each other. Both teams talking about
checking their pride.
Right? You got to have some pride. That's going to be an interesting game, because someone's going to stop caring. One team is going to stop caring and just wondering about when the offseason starts.
And to build off your point, Steve, I do see a disconnection between the offense and the defense. Like, defense on the field so much early, takes a little away from them late. Third quarter, offense wants to complement, what it had built at the end of the second quarter. They give it
the
up
ball
the strip sack, and the defense is on the field in the red zone. It's like not working together. The pieces not fitting, and injury's a factor. Not an excuse. Lose Jawan Bentley, lose Christian Barmore. Jabril Pepper's not there. Like, they're without some key pieces, but you got to be better than that.
Let's hope they come back from London 2-5.
And you guys come back from London.
Right?
I'll be here.
Holding the fort.
I will hold it down. Me and Happy Dan Roach.
Hey, thanks, guys.
All right.